After a 2-10 record last season for Mississippi State, can they turn things around? Let's take a look at what that projection is going to be for 2025. First, actually, let's look back at the last 4 seasons. You can see the projection for them every year that we've done this with our formula. Their projection has come out 6-6. So the last 4 years, again, 6-6 for this Mississippi State team. You go back to 21, they were 7-5, beat the projection by a game. In 22, they beat it by 2 games on 8-4. They were under the projection by 1 game in 23. And then, of course, again, just a disastrous season last year, going just 2-10. So let's see what that projection looks like for this year. And do keep in mind, this is not a prediction. There is no human element here. This is all based off of numbers with our projected record formula. And so, again, here is the scale that we use. Again, this is all based off of our tier ranking system. So like Mississippi State's actually at the bottom. They're in tier 6, the very bottom tier in the Power 4, which means if they play a team that's a tier above them, if they're able to get that game at home, that becomes like a 50-50 game. But there's no point in even talking about that because they don't play a team that's just one tier above them. They don't even play a team, I don't think. Well, they have one game with a team in tier 4, but this is just a brutal schedule, especially in the SEC. So they do have one easy win. We think Alcorn State, that's a game they should get. They should win that game, really, no doubt about that one. But that's it. I mean, every other game they could lose, but you feel pretty good about Southern Miss and Northern Illinois, especially in year 2 under Jeff Levy. You expect this team to make some progress, to be a little bit better this year. And these are 2 non-conference games that they should win, but not really guaranteed wins. Southern Miss is on the road. It's week 1. And then again, you got a pretty good team out of the MAC in Northern Illinois, a team that beat Notre Dame last year. So those are not guaranteed wins, but if you're a Mississippi State fan, you're thinking you got to win those games. You've got to get these 3 wins for sure. And like, if you want to get to a bowl game, find me 3 more wins on the schedule. I don't see it. It's just, the schedule's just too tough. They don't play any of the easier teams really in the SEC. So it's a very tough schedule. You look at, Arkansas as a game, maybe they can pull off an upset. Arkansas is a couple of tiers above them. Game is on the road. It's going to be tough, obviously. But you would think that's the one game that maybe they can win, or perhaps the Egg Bowl just because of the rivalry. But that Arkansas game, that's about it. I mean, it's just a really, really tough schedule. Every team other than Arkansas and then Missouri, every other team they play that we have remaining here, not counting those non-conference games, but every other game, it's against a tier 1 or tier 2 team in the SEC. So it's just a very, very tough schedule. And in fact, we've got the rest of these games in the red. So they're all under 20%. Arizona State's a tier 2 team. Tennessee, a tier 2 team. Same for Texas A&M and Florida. Texas and Georgia, tier 1 teams. Missouri is a tier 3 team, but that game's on the road. That's why it's in the red. And then, so this is where the human element does not come into play here. Like Ole Miss, it's the Egg Bowl. It's at home. It's a rivalry game. I'm looking at just with my personal opinion. I'd probably put that at least in the orange just because of those factors. But when you go by our formula, with Ole Miss being a tier 2 team, it really gives Mississippi State just not much of a chance to win that game. So, again, you've got Alcorn State, pretty easy win. A couple of other non-conference games you feel like you should win, and then maybe you pull off an upset against Arkansas. So I would say best case is probably like 4-8. Maybe they shock Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl, get to 5-7. But with this schedule, it's just going to be tough. So what's the projection? Well, the projection for Mississippi State is 3-9. So 3-9, a little bit better than last year by 1 game, but still that would be another disappointing season. But it's, again, with this schedule, where do you find the wins? It's just tough to find wins on this schedule. They will have to pull off some big upsets if they're even going to get close to a bowl game this year. So, another disappointing year for Mississippi State. Maybe the schedule in 26 will be a little bit easier. I haven't looked at the non-conference or anything. Of course, we don't know what the SEC is going to do. They may have a 9-game conference schedule then, so that's not going to help Mississippi State out. Right now, again, this program, down a little bit, and I think it's going to take some time for them to get back to being competitive in the SEC.